Is banking a good career option in 2022? Well, banks are some of the largest and wealthiest institutions in the world, even today, and almost everyone with a stable income is depositing money month after month into their bank. And so banking does play a major role around the world in the economy, and it could be a good choice career-wise. Who am I? I'm Dahlia. I specialize in helping people land highly paid work they love. I've been doing that for about 6 years, and I'm also a communications consultant for international organizations like the UN, the European Commission, and some private companies as well. And so, is banking a good career path? Let's examine it. Let's first start off with the upsides, and then we'll get into some of the potential downsides and discuss whether it would actually be a good fit for you. One of the upsides to getting into the banking sector is that it remains a strong and reliable industry. So regardless of the role that they played in the crisis of 2008, since then, they have continued to be an important part of staffing and giving people jobs. So, for example, in the US, there are over 2 million people employed in the commercial banking industry, and commercial banking employment grew 4.7% in 2022. Between 2017 and 2022, and between 2017 and 2022, employment in the commercial banking industry has grown 0.9% overall. So banking is an industry that's not projected to go away in the near future. And I know that there are people saying banking is dead, we don't need banks anymore. But for the time being, stats still show that it's a pretty secure sector that continues to grow in terms of employment opportunities. Generous compensation. Everyone has expectations from their jobs. Some people would give everything to have that elusive work-life balance, whereas others want that opportunity to learn, while others just want to be able to travel. But at the end of the day, the one thing that's common about all jobs is that you need to be making good money while you're doing it. And so when it comes to compensation, banking has earned a well-deserved reputation for paying better than a lot of other corporate jobs. Analysts with 0 to 3 years of experience make anything in the US from $80K to $200K. Obviously, it depends on factors like the division they're working for, the size of the bank, and the location. If you have an MBA, you can increase those numbers by around 50% for just your starting salary. Banks also offer good benefits most of the time. They usually have benefits like health insurance, 401k plans, paid sick time, and paid vacation. Now, obviously, those are the pros. Banking jobs are, of course, not without cons. Common complaints about working in banking include stress. And now, of course, stress and monotony can be found in many corporate jobs, not just in banking. But let's talk about growth opportunities. So a lot of banks will pay for or reimburse talented employees for continuing education courses. So that's something else to consider, that if you're looking to do another degree or you're looking to grow and learn, you might be able to get that financed for you by the bank that you work for. And people working for banks have reported that they've had pretty good success in terms of getting to do those other career advancement trainings that they've wanted to do and to get that financed by the bank that they work for, which is obviously not the case in every corporate environment, that they're willing to pay for your career advancement. Another aspect to working for a bank, which might be a pro or a con for you, depending on what kind of person you are, is it tends to be quite a formal environment. So it's the kind of place that generally, even during the pandemic, they weren't that keen on allowing people to work from home. Of course, a lot of them did, but now most banks are asking people to start coming back to the office, and it's that more formal, traditional corporate environment. Again, I'm generalizing here, right? There are so many different types of banks, so sometimes you can find you can find exceptions to the rule, but a lot of banks tend to have that more formal environment. It's for you. If you want to be dressed up in very corporate formal attire, you like being in the office, you like being in that kind of corporate fancy environment. If you want a more laid back job where you get to work from home, for example, and you want that kind of flexibility and you want that job environment that's like cool and cutting edge, banking might not be for you. So, is banking the right career choice for you? Well, if you do have a passion for money and finance and the economy, perhaps if you're good with numbers, good with math, then those skills and that interest will lend itself to a great career in this field. Finance jobs at major banks can obviously be extremely lucrative.